Season 3 of Street Fighter 6 is here. I've read the patch notes and done some labbing, so I wanted to share some of my initial thoughts. Obviously, this is likely to change as I play and watch more, but thought it would be interesting to document this. One of the biggest changes I approve is perfect parry. A back direction is needed for mid and high strikes, and down back is needed for low. As a person who likes third strike, I initially thought, why not forward or down? But then I realized there can be situations where accidental perfect parries can occur while doing the drive rush shortcut of forward then forward parry. It really shows that the devs want to remove all unintended perfect parries. I agree with this direction because something with such low risk and huge reward should require precision. This would give reasons to use fast slows like crouching light kicks than say, light punches that give better frame advantage and damage. More variety and deeper strategy sounds good to me. Although, this requirement is not needed for projectiles so you can easily buffer drive rushes. I'm totally fine with this too since some projectiles are quite strong in the game. What I'm not okay with is people calling the parry that's done in the 2-frame window but wrong direction imperfect parries. Bruh, normal parries are also imperfect. Can we come up with something a little more fitting? I'd rather call it timing only parries, or TOP. Jokes aside, if you have a good name, let me know in the comments. Characters that have long-range cancelable lows can no longer shimmy after doing a cancelled drive rush then a light attack. To be honest, I never liked the idea of a crouching medium kick or similar to drive rush being advantageous for the attacker. I think it should be even at best. I prefer the person on offense to situation confirm the lows or start with a mid if they want advantage. Regardless, I think this is a step in the right direction, especially when it's paired with the throw escape changes. Throw escapes now give more drive and super meter. You know the funny thing is, I was planning on making a video explaining various ways of circumventing throw threats, and one of the answers to them was to never, ever input a throw in a shimmy-low position. If you're going to risk everything, might as well try to jump out or do a low. This change though still doesn't alter my opinion if in the corner. The risk reward of getting a bar drive meter still does not match the damage that you are going to receive from a shimmy. Although, if you're in a situation where shimmies are not possible, I think going for early throw escapes may be worthwhile. If I were the attacker, I'd probably do less throw attempts and more frame traps. Either way, this change is a bit weird because throw loops, which I can safely assume is generally disliked, still exists for a lot of characters, and this band-aid doesn't seem to help the situation very much. Continuing the topic of throw loops, it seems like Ken's got much more difficult due to the increased distance between him and the opponent after a forward throw. The window is very small now, and I feel like I'm failing a lot more than I'm getting successes against wake-up mashing. I'm up for making throw loops less oppressive, but this method of doing it also hinders basic strike design for the character. I'm not a Ken player, so I can't speak in certainty, but this feels like a huge nerf. So much so that Tokido, the person who claims that Goki is his spirit character but didn't switch in Season 2 in favor of Ken, is now playing Chun-Li. Although, she doesn't have throw loops, so I guess the Kazekama nerfs also affected his decision? Anyways, as a person who likes games like Third Strike, Guilty Gear, and Under Night In-Breath, I feel like a few frames of invisibility on wake up is the way to go, rather than increasing throw knockback. I know it's not going to happen, but I think the solution is possible with additional nerfs to parries. When sweeps that are not slides hit a character, they can now recover backwards instead of being in a hard knockdown status. I'm a bit mixed about this one. Sweeps are fairly high risk moves that can potentially be punished very heavily despite its lack of combo potential. Hard knockdown seems fair, but at the same time, I shudder at the thought of painstakingly cornering a Guile, getting hit by a sweep, which results in a side switch after he hops over my body with a knee bazooka. Wait, they fixed it? Woo! Eat it, Guile! On the topic of sweeps, Chun-Li got a pretty big buff on her overdrive Hyakuretsugaku, so she can now do over 3000 damage with just 2 drive bars to punish any sweeps that is -8 or worse on block. Spacing won't matter too much considering how far it goes. Lots of potential with this buff. I have a comment video with all the changes, so check that out if you want the variations. As a side note, I found some new routes and minor improvements, so check out the pinned comments for updated stuff, or go watch the Japanese version as that includes the newest combos. Elena. Great pokes and a lot of overheads. I feel like the overhead resets can carry people to Diamond or Master in the first few weeks, but will probably be a little bit harder once people get used to it. Better hop on right now and cheese your way while you can. She seems a bit complicated due to the number of target combos, but you could probably just rely on one or two of them, like the forward heavy punch combo if you have the fundamentals to poke and whiff punish. I might give her a deeper dive if I have the energy. We got outfit 3 for all the season 3 characters. Dictator got Leon's jacket, Terry showed up after shooting some hoops, and the girls got some beautiful outfits. I'm liking Elena's hair a lot and really wish this was her default one, but I guess this is why it's a paid item. Got to entice the players. Although if I were to nitpick, the physics on Elena's pants and Mai's coat bothers me a little since both of them do a lot of flips and turns. They look a bit unnatural at times. I also wish we got the Street Fighter V option to take off certain items by pressing specific buttons during load time. It might be nice to see Might without her coat. Lastly, Season 3 character announcements. I really appreciate how Capcom tells us all the characters so that it helps in the decision of buying season passes. I'm looking at you, Bandai Namco. Imagine being a traumatized Tekken 7 player getting a season pass only to hear about Falcon Run months after the purchase. I also love the skit where Kenny Omega dressed up as all of the characters. If we're going to use celebrities to promote a game, it should be someone with roots in the community. Unlike, you know what I'm referring to. Anyways, Sea Viper is who I'm most excited for. I'm curious on how the extremely technical and air-heavy character is going to transition into Street Fighter 6. It's hard to imagine the developers will allow her to jump and move around like she did in 4. Outside of dive kicks and bus slams, most of the unique air movement in this game feels kind of bad. There's a reason why a lot of players who use double or wall jump characters never actually use the move. When's the last time you saw Chun-Li wall jump? Oro. Ingrid is another one I'm very curious about. I know very little about her outside of seeing snippets of Capcom Fighting Jam, so to me, it's a brand new character feel rather than a returning one. Sagat will be Sagat. I played against him too much in 2, 4, and 5, so my feeling of excitement is not that high. I do, however, look forward to Bonchan playing him. Lastly, do we need another grappler? Well, at least it's not Makoto. I'm kidding, guys, don't take this comment seriously. These are my initial thoughts on the patch and recent announcements. Overall, I think the game is heading in a direction I like. How are you guys feeling about the changes? Do you think Capcom is doing a good job? Let me know in the comments. Alright, until next time, have fun with fighting games.